Welcome back to another Straight Talk podcast with All Pest Solutions. My name is Wendell Daniel, founder and CEO of All Pest Solutions. Today, and again this month, my special guest is my son, Jacob Daniel, our Chief of Operations. And he is and I are going to talk about today basically a prelude to what's up and coming over the next few months as we bring to you our first series podcast, which based on how it flows and how it goes, probably 2 or 3 months of fall wildlife. And so that's going to be our series as we come up. And today we're just going to talk about that. And so we're going to kind of go down the list, and we're going to pick the top one today and talk about it as we go along as well. So, Jacob, let's kind of go down our list today and what our topics are going to be as we unfold next month on this wildlife series.
When we say series, I mean, hopefully this flows the right way. It's just we got so much information to talk about. Hopefully it works in a series, but it could just be a conglomeration of all things together. We'll see how it flows out.
Correct. Absolutely. Because I mean, we could spend a year on wildlife series for sure. But the key to that, obviously, and we'll come back to this, is as we head into fall. The key word here is fall, and as the season changes and what that means in our industry as it relates to wildlife. But like I said, we've got some topics. Thought we'd just kind of go over those overall topics, and then we'll come back and talk about the first one, which is what's different about the fall. But so the next one on there that's going to be coming up is cause and effect, Einstein's theory, and what you may be doing, or as a homeowner may be doing that makes things better or worse. I'll let you touch on the next one there.
Well, are you going to go through and read these out? Or
I thought I would just kind of highlight those, and we'll run down the list of what's to come, and then we'll just come back and spend the remaining time of our podcast on the first one.
Yeah, we can do that. We got our third point is why we do what we do. There's no compromises where your structure is concerned. Our next bulletin, the ugly truth, the dangers and cost of wildlife damage. We're going to try to be real easy with some of those things. Not to scare tactic or create panic or other things, just the real life possibilities that come with that. To fix or not to fix, a cost comparison. And that's an encompassing thing. It could be a lot of different options there. Big fixes, small fixes, so AC lines, dryer vents, missing bricks, etc. Garage door fixes. So I'm guessing maybe in series 2 or probably 3, maybe getting a little deeper into exclusion, which we've kind of touched on a little bit here and there.
Right.
Wildlife habits and or human habits or even habitats. Those will all go hand in hand as well. Most common entry points, how they lead to problems, misconceptions, construction, urban versus country theories or ideas, when structures can't be excluded, and suggestions of baiting and trapping and other things outside of other exclusion programs.
So those are going to kind of be our topics. And like I said, we're not quite sure how those are going to unfold as we try to keep our podcast in that 10 to 15 minute range, but we're going to try to eat those up. That takes us 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, whatever it takes. Yeah. We've got plenty of fall coming at us that's all going to unfold, which is the wildlife is at its peak during this time of year. And so as we come back, and we'll just kind of take on the one today at the top of the list, and why fall? So I ask you that question, Jacob. What's significant about the fall season in wildlife in pest control?
Well, and then again, that's one of those common ideas is that in fall is kind of peak season. Which then again, anything that we do, pest control, termite related, mosquito related, wildlife, which is inclusive of squirrels, rats, raccoons, etc. Everything that we do is seasonal, right? Especially in the fall, most people will resonate with it's fall, things are going to be getting inside because it's getting cold, right?
Correct.
But then again, the idea of fall in and of itself is just a change in the scenery, right? Is the fall is just it's becoming chilly, or it's going to start raining, or it's just a weather change, which, as you well as I know, in our industry,
it's climatic events.
Always, right? We've always had that kind of funny saying, rain makes bugs. Well, in an ideological position, it is based upon, okay, we'll get rain, everything's going to explode. Well, there's so many other factors that come with that, right? And the biggest one is not so much the rain and the water and the displacement of all said critters, 4 legs or more, right, is the pressure change. And we have, it's bringing in big storms, brings in low pressure. They feel pressure. Even most homeowners are probably can feel or notice that your dogs or cats or other animals start kind of acting funny. They might get antsy or kind of clingy, and that's really based upon a barometric pressure change.
Is that because that's how I sat on the edge of the bed this morning and warmed up like an old Chevy before I could get up? Same kind of thing?
Very much so, yeah. Soreness on rain days, it's pressure more than it is
Absolutely.
the actual rain. But fall brings in lots of rain, usually. But they feel, and I say they, your rodents and your squirrels and your wildlife, they feel this pressure change coming. And of course, the common knowledge behind fall and it being cold, like I've already said before, is just because it's cold, they're going to come inside. Well, the trigger heading into, and as we see temperatures change, right, down little bits at a time, from 90 to 80 to 70, so on and so on, is that they have felt that weeks and months before we ever did. Right?
Well, and the cool thing is Hollywood and Disney's done a great job of making all types of movies and cartoons that portray this. But that old theory that, they go into build nests, find harborage, and store food is as real as it gets, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're headed to right now.
It is. And even in the last couple of weeks, it's really gotten sporty. The phones have been a little crazy. We've had, we had some rain come through. The pressures were low. It got a little chilly. We got a little cold snap.
And the phone blowed up.
And it blowed up. But then again, that was a trigger based on just the pure low pressure change. But they already knew that was coming, right? They had already been prepping for this. And so we've been seeing more and more infiltration into the house or into attics or other things. And so that's an onset. Once it got here, then, okay, we were a little bit ready, and some of them may not have been.
Yeah. The thing about it is wildlife and really the animal kingdom in general, they'll live wherever they can find shelter. Mm-hmm. But some of those places aren't near as good as it gets colder. That's when they find themselves moving into your house and not paying rent. That make a nest in the grill or in the patio furniture or somewhere the wood pile outside now, sure. It just ain't as optimal as it is to be in your attic.
Sure. Well, then again, the needs of all, then again, if we're specific to wildlife or even specific to rodents, right? That's the hot topic or the nasty topic that exists and is growing exponentially, but nobody wants to talk about, right? Is that's the one that we're most driven in watching in the fall, of course. But it is the most susceptible to explosion. Their needs never change.
No,
right?
Absolutely not.
If we look at this based off simple needs and we look at our own habits as homeowners, and we need food, we need water, and we need shelter, right? At the most minimal, right? Usually we're going to the grocery store to get the food. We might go to eat. All those things we're going to bring back to the house. When the weather's bad, we're in the house. When it's cold, we're in the house. They're doing the same thing. But during the summer months, they need less food and more water. And in the winter, they need to be able to survive it, and they're not going to have as much food, so they're going to have to store and prep for it. That generally starts in September. So it's already been prepping, and it's going to continue until they can't find any more.
Well, it's an innate trait. It's bred into them. They're that way. That's the thing. That's the other key feature or point that I want to push home to our listening audience as we go through this series, is that God made the animal kingdom far more intelligent than the humans think they are.
Oh, yeah.
It's insane. You take a 4X mama coon, she is on a whole nother level of problem solving.
Well, even then, you think about what raccoons do and how smart they are. They don't hold a candle. I mean, absolutely don't hold a candle to how smart rats are.
I understand.
Insane how smart they are.
If they had thumbs, they could do math, I bet you.
They process through information in a very similar way.
I know they do.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, rodents are the most adaptive creature on the face of the planet. There is nothing that you can do that is regular and routine that's going to keep them from processing you.
Yep.
You know, they're just going to keep, if you don't go in with something fierce and something fast, and something strategic, they'll beat you.
Yep.
Every single time.
Yep. They adapt way faster than we adapt.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the other side of that is that, I mean, every phone call we get is it's mice, right? But in reality, it's usually rats, right?
Yeah. We had one yesterday. It was just a good friend of ours, and she was like, you know, she already named him Norman. It's a mouse, and he chewed the.
Well, do you want a name dropper? I'm running her koozie right there.
No.
She would just freak out.
But she was like, he chewed the water supply to the dishwasher, and I got a new one ordered. And I said, if you drop that dishwasher in, girl, this is the definition of insanity. He's fixing to chew that one right off too.
Well, then again, you're getting ahead of yourself. That's in the damage and the ugly truth, right? These dishwashers.
I know I am.
Well, see, that's where this is all going to blend.
But as we get, I think we're getting close to our time. As we go through this series, just know this: if you guys are hearing noises in your attic or you're having some issues going on, man, we got to fix. We got you. Don't want you to wait till the end of this to decide that, you were having something going on and you didn't know what it was. But as we head into this fall season, things are going to unfold.
Yep. Well, then again, every process we do is based upon the same seasonal or traditional natural trends, right? So based on, why fall, but it's not just fall. It's going to be why summer, why spring. It's all going to point to the same things, right? They've got to have a place to stay. They got to have a place to survive. They got to have a place to have babies. And it's just the change of season is just going to be indicative of the same end result, in that we need to manage the growth and we need to manage the investments. And the number one investment most of the time is the house, the vehicles around it.
Yep.
But it starts with the seasonal side and following the patterns and the trends.
Absolutely. But, hey, we appreciate you guys joining us today. Again, my name is Wendell Daniel with Pest Solutions. Experience the ultimate in value and integrity of trust is our slogan. And got pests call the best. So if you have any of these issues as we unfold through this series, give us a call. We'll get you taken care of. We appreciate you joining us today. And we will see you next month as we pick up our series on fall wildlife in North Texas. We'll talk to you then.